Hi friends, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Ashish here, and today I'll be covering a Sudoku variant called Anti-Night Killer Sudoku. So today we are solving a hybrid Sudoku variant, and the author of this Sudoku is Philipp Blume, and I really thank the author for giving me an opportunity to cover a video on our channel. So I was shared this Sudoku by the author himself, and at leisure I tried to solve this Sudoku, and it took me nearly 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes to solve this Sudoku. It was a really tough one, but I enjoyed it thoroughly from the start to the end till the last digit. I enjoyed this Sudoku a lot. It didn't feel like I am using any trial and error, or I am using any guesswork to complete this Sudoku, right? So it was beautifully designed Sudoku. I'm really happy solving this Sudoku, and the moment I solved this Sudoku, I thought of making a video on this one. I wanted my viewers to see this Sudoku because this Sudoku really deserves an appreciation, and I was really happy solving it. So I thought of covering a video on this one. So it's called an anti-night killer Sudoku, a hybrid Sudoku, right? So before going to the Sudoku, I would highly recommend you to please subscribe to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles if you haven't done so. It will really motivate us to cover videos on daily basis. And if at all you have a request for any Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, do let us know in the comment below, and we'll surely make a video on it. And coming back to this Sudoku, so Philipp Blume is a really an excellent author, a really nice person as well, because I've been in I've been in contact with Philipp Blume for many things regarding Sudokus and puzzles, and is really an excellent author and a really good person. So let's start this Sudoku, and so I'll just brief you with the rules of this Sudoku. Normal classic Sudoku rules apply. You need to place digits from 1 to 9 in each row, each column, and 3 into 3 box without repetition. Apart from that, digits in the cages. So there are some few cages in the grid, very few cages I would say. Digits in the cages indicates the sum of the digits is equal to the number given in the top left corner of the cage, right? So digits do not repeat in a cage. So as you can see, there are 7 digits in this cage, and the sum of these 7 digits would have to be 29, and none of the digits can repeat, right? So the sum of these 3 digits is 8, sum of these 3 digits is 10. And apart from that, one more constraint that we are using here is anti-night, which means cells that are night moves apart should contain different digits. So if this is a cell, then these 8 cells will never be the same as this cell. So whatever you have here cannot be in any of these 8 cells. The digit that you have here cannot be in any of these 8 cells. So it's just like a night move in a chess, right? So whatever you have here cannot be in any of these 8 cells as well, apart from the classic Sudoku rules, right? So with that, we should be able to start solving the Sudoku. I remember somewhat these 3 cells. So 8 will always have a 1 in it, right? 8 should always have a 1 in it, and we know that 1 to the 7 cage cell, that is 29, should have 1 2 3 4 5 16, right? 6 and 8. These are the digits that would have to be inside this cage. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 8 7 and 9 are not possible. So some of the 7 cells, 7 distinct numbers using 7 cells has to have some 29 is 1 2 3 4 5 6 8, right? So 7 and 9 cannot be inside this cage, right? And the next thing that was so I'll not write this now because it will be too much messy here. 1 cannot be in any of these 2 cells, because if you have a 1 here, this 8 cannot have a 1 using the night rule, anti-night constraint. So if you have a 1 here, you eliminate 1 from both of these cells and this cell as well using the night step. So you cannot have a 1 here and here for the same reason. And can you have a 1 here or here? So that's a really good piece of logic here for the 29 cage. Where can a 1 be? You cannot have a 1 here because that will eliminate both these cells as 1, and this box will have 2 1s now for the 8 cages. So both of these cells cannot be a 1. So if you have a 1 here, this won't be a 1 and this won't be a 1, and both the 8 cages would have 1 in in the same box. So both of these cannot be 1. Same way both of these also cannot be 1. Yeah, I remember that, because you will eliminate this and this cell as well, and even this cell. You eliminate 3 cells, and this, or in other words, if you have a 1 here, this 8 cannot have a 1, and if you have a 1 here, this 8 cannot have a 1. So only there are 3 places for the 1 to be in 29kh, and it would have to be these 3 cells. Okay, what was the next step? I don't. Okay, yeah, I remember the next step again. I remember the solve path quite, but to be frank, it really took me 35 to 40 minutes at least to solve this Sudoku, but it was awesome. The way this Sudoku is designed was awesome, right? And as you can see here, now there has to be 3 ones, one in the 29kh, one in the 8kh, and one more in the 8kh, and those 3 ones are already in these 3 boxes, right? So box number 2, the second box, box 5, and box 6, right? So you have exactly 3 cages and 3 ones to be filled in these 3 cages, which are subjected to exactly 3 boxes, box 2, box 5, and box 6, which means none of the other cells in those boxes can have 1, right? So you have one in one of the 29 cells and other 2 ones in the 8 cells, 8 cages, and these are already in the 3 boxes, which are in the box 2, 5, and 6, which means the 10 cage and the 11 cage cannot have a 1. So a 10 cage without a 1 having 3 cells will have to be 2, 3, and 5, and 11 cage without a 1 having 3 cells will at least have a 2, and it can either be 3, 6 or 4, 5, right? So we are not sure of it. Let us only keep a 2 here. Okay, now we know that 8 cage with a 3 cell can only have 2 possibilities, that is 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, and 4, right? And we know that whatever the possibility you have in this cage, the other possibility will have to be in this cage. So if both of these possibilities cannot be 1, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 5, so one of the cage will be 1, 2, 5, other will have to be 1, 3, 4, because of course that is not possible. You cannot have 1, 3, 4 in both the cells, because you will have 4 cells with just 3 numbers to be filled. So which means, let me think that what is the logic here. Okay, that was a very good logic here. This cage cannot be 1, 2, 5, so it has to be 1, 3, 4. And why cannot it be 1, 2, 5? Because of course you cannot have 2 and 5 both here, you will have to have 1 here only, and 2 and 5 in one of these 2 cells, right? So you have a 2, 5 here, 2, 5 here, right? Where can 2 and 5 be in column 6? Column 6, yeah. Where can 2 and 5 be in column 6? You cannot have 2, 5 here, cannot have 2, 5 here, cannot have 2 and 5 both in 15 cage, because 15 cage should have digits greater than 5, that is 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 2 and 5 both would have to be in only this cell. So which means this cage would have to be 1, 3, and 4. And this cage would have to be 1, 2, and 5. This cell cannot be a 2. So you will have a 2 in one of these 3 cells, a 2 in one of these 2 cells, which means 2 in row 4 would have to be here, right? You cannot have a 3 here because you have 2, 3, 5 here, which means 3 would have to be in one of these 3 cells and 3 would have to be in one of these 2 cells. So 3 in column 6 would have to be only in this cell. There is no other place for the 3 to be in column 6, right? Okay, now that is quite there was a good logic here with the okay. So as you can see, we have very minimum cages here, just a very few cages, and we'll have to concentrate all our energy into those cages to get a few digits. And then the anti-night constraint also comes into play simultaneously to make sure that we get all the digits in the cages. So I see that where can 2 and 3 be in 29 cage? You cannot have a 2 in 2 and 3 here. Of course, 2 is in one of these two cells, you cannot have a 2 here. 3 is in one of these two cells, you cannot have a 3 here. Or you can see this, 3 cannot be here and 2 also cannot be here because of the 3 pointing in box 5. You cannot have 3 here, and 2 is here, so you cannot have 2 here. So 2 and 3 both would have to be in one of these two cells. So you have a 2-3 pair here in box 3. Five cannot be here, so 5 would have to be in one of these 3 cells. Okay, we know that you'll have a 5 in one of these 3 cells and a 5 in one of these 3 cells. So which means, okay, there are exactly 2 cages and both the cages needs to have a 5. So both the cages are in 2 boxes, box 5 and 6. So none of the other cells can have 5 in those boxes, right? So in 29 cage you need to have a 5 and it has to be in one of these 3 cells. In an 8 cage you'll have to have a 5, it is in one of these 3 cells. So 2 5s and 2 boxes, so which means 11 cage cannot have a 5 and it has to be 2, 3 and 6. So there are only 2 possibilities for the 11 cage with a 2 in it and not a 1 in it, that is 2 3 6 and 2 4 5, and 5 is already eliminated, so you have 2 3 6. 2 cannot be here because if you have a 2 here you eliminate all the possibilities of 2 from the 8 cage using the anti-night rule. Six cannot be here, so 6 would have to be in one of these 3 cells, right? Because in a 29 cage you know that you need to have a 6 here, and 6 cannot be in any of these 2 cells. 6 cannot be here, so 6 would have to be in these 3 cells, which means now we have a 15 cage into play, because if we have 6 in one of these 3 cells, 15 cage can only be 7 and 8. Okay, whatever you have here, no, whatever you have here would have to be here, right? Not here, because using whatever you have a 2 or 3 cannot be here or cannot be here using the anti-night rule, so it will be here. So you can remove 6 from this cell, and I would just highlight these 2 cells as they are same way. Whatever you have here would have to be here, so I'll highlight these as well, because this cannot be a 5 now. Excuse me. Where can a 9 be in column 6? That was awesome. That is awesome. You cannot have a 9 in 29 cage, that we have already discovered it. You cannot have 9 in 8 cage, neither in the 15 cage. This cell would have to be a 9. 8 would have to be in one of these 2 cells, because 8 is possible. I mean to say 7. 7 cannot be in the 29 cage, so it would have to be in one of these 2 cells, which means this cell cannot be a 7. Okay, 9 cannot be here, or cannot be here using the anti-night rule. So 9 would have to be in one of these 2 cells. So 9 cannot be here, cannot be in the 29 cage, cannot be in the 8 cage. This cell would have to be a 9. Wow, these 2 cells, I don't remember using this logic here, but that is excellent piece of logic here. Let me again see it. You cannot have a 9 here in any of these cells. 9 would have to be in one of these 2 cells. 9 cannot be here. 9 cannot be in the 29 cage, as we have already discovered that 29 cage will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 8. So 9 cannot be in any of these cells. 9 cannot be in the 8 cage. 9 would have to be here, so the next cell would have to be 6. So it is 6 and 9. This cell cannot be a 6. which means where can 7 be in? It's kind of a symmetric, guys. I understood it. Oh, I didn't find that during my solve. I don't know why didn't I find that. It's kind of a symmetric way. So moment you get a 9 here, you get a 7 here. The moment you get a 2 here, you get a 3 here. That's awesome actually. So 7 cannot be here, cannot be here. 7 would have to be in one of these two cells. This is 6 and 8, so this cannot be 6. 8 would have to be in one of these three cells. So 2, 6, 9, 7, 8, 5, 1, 3 and 4. 3 cannot be here, so 4 can still be here. So I'll just see that. What can this cell be? It cannot be 9, 7, 8, 6, 9, 6, 9, 8, 7, 6. Cannot be 2, 3. It can only be 1, 4 and 5. 6 is in one of these two cells. 8 is in one of these two cells. Nine would have to be in one of these two cells, right? In this box. Okay. So as you can see here, these 5 cells are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are logged as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what do we say that. I do triplet and quadruplet. This is something greater than that. That is logged with 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6. These would have to be 6, 7, 8 and 9. A 7 cannot be here because of eliminating 7 from both of these cells. If you have a 7 here, both 7 get eliminated from these two cells, right? Same way, if you have a 9 here, both 9 get eliminated from these two cells. As I already said, it is kind of symmetric. Where can 8 be in this box? So you already have 8 here. This cell cannot be an 8, so 8 would have to be in one of these two cells. These two cells are 1 and 4, 6, 1, 4 triplet here. Where can 6? Okay, 6 is already here. 4. Okay. Come on, what are we missing here? So whatever you have here, that is nice. Whatever you have here cannot be in any of these three cells, so it would have to be this cell. So these two cells are same now. Even this cell, because whatever you have here cannot be this cell, so these three cells are same now. That is nice. Now I'll use another color here because I already used green here. It would have to be pink. Whatever you have here cannot be in these two cells, cannot be this cell, so it would have to be this cell. That is nice. I don't remember using this, but it is excellent actually. Okay. Oh, whatever you have here cannot be in any of these two cells, right? That we already discovered, but we didn't eliminate the 8 here because we got 7, 8 pair. So if you have an 8 here, you cannot have 8 in any of these two cells. So this would have to be 6, right? This would have to be 6, sorry, which gives you a 9 here, which gives you a 9 here and a 6 here, okay? That 9 gives you a 9 here. Both 6 and 9 are eliminated from these cells. Okay. This 6 will eliminate 6 from this cell. So this cell is a 6 now. You know that 1 and 4 would have to be in one of these two cells, right? Can you have a 1 here? We have already eliminated that. 1 cannot be in this cell because that will eliminate 1 from both of these cells for the 8. or even these two cells. So this cell cannot be a 1, this cell is a 4 now, that gives you a 1. A 4 here, using the anti-night rule you cannot have 4 in the same night step away, so this is 3, this is 4, that 3 gives you a 2 and a 5 and a 3 here, that 3. Okay, all the green cells would be same, all the orange cells would be same, that gives you these, right? Am I going a bit fast? Because these two cells are same, that is 3 and 3. You cannot have a 2 here, so this is 6, that is 2, that 2 gives you a 2 here. You cannot have a 1 here because of the one anti-night rule, and even we have already discovered that, that is 5, that is 1. So this is 1 now. 8, 4 and 5, 4 is here, so 8 and 5 would have to be in one of these two cells. Okay, you got at least something here. This 5 would give you a 8 here and a 5 here because of the anti-night rule. Okay, 7 and 8, what can other 3 cells be? So if it is 7, you need to have 1 here, if it is 8, you need to have 1 here. Okay, can you have 6 here in these 3 cells? So if you have a 7 here and the next cell is 6, you'll have 13 already, and you need 2 more with 2 more cells. Not possible, you cannot have digits repeated in the cage. So the minimum possibility value is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Cannot be 2 and 3 here, cannot be 2 and 3 here. These 3 cells are 1, 4 and 5, right? These 3 cells are also, no, 5 cannot be here. 1, 4 and 6, right? And 6 here. Okay. Three cannot be here, 3 cannot be here, 3 cannot be here. So 3 would have to be here. That means 3 would have to be in one of these 3 cells. You can do same thing with the 2s if I am right. So 2 will have to be here. Two cannot be here, cannot be here, cannot be here. So 2 would have to be in one of these 2 cells. Same way with the 3 if I am right. It's totally symmetric here. Nine cannot be here, cannot be here, cannot be here. So there is a pointing of 9 in box 1. That eliminates 9 from these cells. So 9 is here in one of these 2 cells. Not helpful here. Two, 5 and 9. 5 cannot be here, 9 cannot be here, right? So this cell would have to be 2, a hidden single of 2. This is 5 and 9. This cell cannot be a 2. 2 cannot be here, cannot be here, 2 cannot be here. So this cell would have to be a 2. So if you have a 1 here, you'll have 1, 4, 5 triplet, right? Can 1, 4, 5 be here? So the sum is already 10, you need 5 more here. So you cannot have a 1 here. Same way 4 and 5 here. Wow! I'll go back again and see what I have done here. I'll go back again. So you are sure that 1, 4, 5 triplet is not possible in this 15 cage, because 1 plus 4 plus 5 gives you 10, and the fourth cell again would have to be 5. You already have a 7, 8 marking. So you already have 1, 4, 5 and 1, 4 here. So these cells cannot be 1, 4 and 5. So this cell would have to be a 3. I didn't expect this logic here. I didn't expect. So 3 cannot be in any of these 2 cells. 3 would have to be here, and that gives you a 3 here, right? Awesome. So you need 12 more, which means if you have 5 here, You need 7 more, not possible. You already have the minimum value 7 here, and 1 here you would have 8. So 5 is not possible here. So 1 and 4 pair, hidden pair here. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 3 is 8, and you need 15 sum. So 15 minus 8 is 7. So this cell would have to be a 7. Pink cells would have to be 8. Other cells would have to be 7. We got it, guys. We got it. So this cell cannot be a 7. Okay, one cannot be here, cannot be here, no, nothing with that. What are these two cells? 5 and 7, right? No, 7 and 8. So this 7 would give you a 7 here and an 8 here. I suspect I have done something wrong, but I am not sure if I have done that. 7 cannot be here, cannot be here. Nothing with that. These cells would have to be 3, 4, 6, 7 and 8. 8, 7, 4. This cell would have to be 6. 4, 7 and 8, 7, 4, this would have to be 8 because you cannot have a 4. 4 and 7 here, right? This is 4, so that is 7 and a 4 here. That eliminates 4 from this cell. 1, 5 and 9, right? So 5 cannot be here, this is 1 and 9. 1 cannot be here, this is 5 and 9. 1, 5 and 9. 9, 5 and 7. 7 can be here. 9, 9 and 5. This 9 gives you a 1 here. This eliminates 1 from this cell. This is 4 and 5, right? So this is 4, that is 5. This would have to be 8. So 1, 4 and 6 can be anyway. 1, 6 and 8. 8 cannot be here. 1, 6, 6 cannot be here. 1, 8, 1, 6 and 8. Again 1, 4 and 6 here, right? Are we missing something? Oh, that is awesome, guys. Something really new again. This anti-net killer is really one of my favorite hybrid Sudoku I have solved. Amazing. So if you see here, you have a 1-4 hidden pair here, 1-4 pair in the ball, in the cage here, which means if you see, these two cells cannot be 1 and 4. So if you have a 1 here, both of these cells would have to be 4 because of the classic rule and because of the anti-net rule. And same way, if you have a 4 here, both of these would have to be 1 because of the again same classic and anti-net rule, which means this cell cannot be 1 and 4, this cell cannot be 1 and 4. This is 6, that is 5, that is 1, 4, 1, 4. Wow, awesome. That gives you a 4 here, that gives you a 4, 6 and 1. That is awesome, guys. That is awesome. 1 cannot be here, 1 cannot be here, so this is 1 here. 7 and 9 in any order. 9, 7, 5, 9. 5 and 9. 5, 8 and 6. 1, 6 and 8. Wow, guys, awesome. What an excellent piece of logic this was. What an excellent Sudoku. I cannot say how happy I am to solve this Sudoku, and that is how actually a handcrafted Sudoku should be. Really amazing. So as you see here, the way you solve these anti-net and killer is totally amazing, totally different. You'll have to excuse me. So you have to look both the constraints simultaneously and try to solve this Sudoku. And as you can see here, why I took nearly 40 minutes to solve this Sudoku, because as you can see, the logic in this was really beautiful, amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this Sudoku. Do like and comment if you want us to solve any other Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, and please do subscribe to our channel. Please support us on our Patreon page. We have started a Patreon page for Unshackling Sudokus and puzzles. It's really a big effort for us to create videos on a daily basis, on a regular basis. From past 2 years we have been doing so, and we have more than 650 videos on our channel. So it's not an easy task to do so, but we'll be continuing this for as long as we can, and we'll be giving you new Sudokus, new logics every day. So please support us on our Patreon page, and Shackling Sudokus and puzzles will be really appreciating it. And you will even receive bonus Sudokus every month for those who subscribe to the Patreon page. Thank you.